Hi, this is Larry London. Welcome to Border Crossings. Today we're talking with a singer-songwriter who I believe today is currently in Nashville. I'm not sure where she is right now. We're going to find out. Madelyn Rose is with us. Madelyn, it's great to have you on Border Crossings on the Voice of America. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, where are you? Are you in Nashville or are you in New York?
I'm currently in New York.
You're in
Yes.
New York. Now, this is
Came
kind of
back from Nashville
where you
last
where
week.
you grew up. You grew up in
Mhm.
upstate New York, and you converted your bedroom into a studio.
Yes, in quarantine, I converted my bedroom into a studio. Um, I recorded my first album on there, and it was just the beginning of my whole career. I loved it.
Is that the bedroom behind you right
Yes,
now?
you can see there's a keyboard.
I see the keyboard.
Um,
I see a chest. I wonder what's in that chest.
that really nothing music related. Um, I've got a couple guitars, and then pretty much my desk, which is what I'm on, is pretty much my whole area. I've got
Mhm.
speakers and guitars and all that kind of stuff.
And so you've written songs. We've got two songs out and a brand new one that you just put out a couple of days ago. We're going to hear that as well during the show. But you've written songs about broken hearts and breakups and romance, and you're only 16. If my daughter had a story to tell at 16 about broken hearts and romance, I don't know what I would have said. But 16, you sounds like you've done a lot of living already.
Well, I feel like, no matter if it's a actual big breakup or if it's just a little crush, anyone can relate to it. And so, in my opinion, I don't think it matters if you have a broken heart or if it was just a crush. My goal is people to relate to my music. And in that way, I feel like most of my audience can relate to it. Um, all of my singles are pretty much about like moving on, acceptance, being okay with that. And I hope that people can find at peace with themselves by listening to my music.
Do you find it difficult to relate to the older fans or older audience because you haven't actually experienced some of the things that older people have? Or if you just invent it, create it in your own mind, your own world? What's the process like for you?
Yeah, I would say yes and no. I mean, when I am co-writing, I try to keep it like there's no drinking, that kind of thing, where like, most of country music, there's drinking songs, all that kind of stuff. And that's fine. That's very casual. But being
Sure.
16, obviously, I don't write about that. So that's one of the things that I'm like, yeah, let's take that out.
Yeah, you have to be really careful because,
Yeah.
first of all, you're not old enough to drink. And secondly, you're appealing to a large younger audience, and what you do will probably be scrutinized more than if you were over 21 because you are young. I did want to ask you, at 16, you're still in high school.
Yeah. I'm a senior right now. I just finished my junior year. I'm homeschooled. So graduating a year early. But yeah, I do it all online now and I really enjoy it. So
That's great. That's great. Well, we're going to talk more about the process for you. We have Madelyn Rose on the show. And if you wouldn't mind doing a song for us, we'd love to hear something live.
yes, my first one will be Taillights Fade. And here it is.
And what's it about? Tell me about this. What was going
So
on when you wrote this song?
Taillights Fade was actually the third song that we wrote. Ended up being the first one that we released. So this is my debut. But pretty much this is what I was talking about of acceptance, being okay with it. And I wanted to write something that gave people a lot of confidence. This one wasn't particularly my idea. It was one of my co-writers, Lauren, and she was scrolling on Instagram and she found a caption from a festival at Coachella. And it was kind of, I was talking about being the one that got away. And she just came across something that said taillights. And so we put that together and kind of decided, oh, I'm the one that got away when you watch my taillights fade. So, yeah.
All right, Madelyn Rose, Taillights Fade, here on Border Crossings.
Used to watch your headlights race down my driveway, jump in the front like we were both runaways, and I don't know why you stepped on the brakes. This town's too small, so here's your space. Maybe when you watch my taillights fade, you're gonna see that I'm the one that got away. Yeah, I'm the one that got away. You want me, so I can't stay. Don't wanna run into you anymore. I packed my car, got your things. I'll just drop them off at your door. Used to watch your headlights race down my driveway, jump in the front like we were both runaways, and I don't know why you stepped on the brakes. This town's too small, so here's your space. Maybe when you watch my taillights fade, you're gonna see that I'm the one that got away, away. Yeah, I'm the one that got away. Well, you're gonna see that I'm the one that got away. Used to watch your headlights race down my driveway, jump in the front like we were both runaways, and I don't know why you stepped on the brakes. This town's too small, so here's your space. Maybe when you watch my taillights fade, you're gonna see that I'm the one that got away, away. Yeah, I'm the one that got away. Yeah, you're gonna see that I'm the one that got away.
Welcome back to Border Crossings. That's Taillight Fades, and that is a new song from Madelyn Rose, who's with us today. She's a singer-songwriter based in New York, although you travel a lot to Nashville. And in upstate New York, where you're from, is country music kind of a big thing? Because you're a country music girl, and I heard you've loved country music your whole life, just kind of gravitated that way. Is country music big in upstate New York?
Yes, that's the primary genre here in upstate New York. You go to school and everybody is in cowboy boots and, it's pretty much normal around here. But I would say that's the main genre that we listen to. And, it's all the concerts around here. They're all country music concerts. And yeah, I would say everyone's a huge fan.
And so your idol is Carrie Underwood.
Yes.
Have you met her or communicated?
No, I think if I met her, I would pass out. I've actually thought about meeting her, and I can't bring myself to it. Not that I don't want to, but if I did, I would actually probably pass out. So yeah, but I can't wait for that day if it happens, and a lot to record with her or perform and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm. I think you were a baby when I met her for the first time after she won American Idol 2002 or 2003, something like that. But yeah, that was a long, long time ago. She's come a long way since then. So she's kind of your inspiration. She's your role model, which is wonderful. Now, for the new album, being only 16, and you said my first album. So this next album will be your second album?
It's a little bit confusing because I've worked on some of my music alone, and then I've worked on some of it professionally. My first album per se was in quarantine. I was 14. It wasn't really official. I did release it, but it is taken down now. It was on Spotify and Apple Music, everything. But it got me learning about the business and seeing that I actually want to do this. So I always call it my first album, but I would say my actual debut album would be this summer, this fall.
Do you have any names in mind for the new album?
I don't. That is a big conversation for me.
Well, of course, your debut album, you want it to have an impact. And,
Yeah.
Typically an artist in their debut album use their name, Madelyn Rose, but which would work just fine. So your parents are supportive, I assume, of all of this that you're doing, because it's, it's a pretty big thing to say as a high school student. This is my direction. I've decided what I want to do. A lot of college majors don't know what they want to do. But, you at 16 have said, this is it. So your parents are saying, okay, go for your dream.
Yeah, they've been really very supportive. Investing in music equipment and just learning about it with me. Especially my dad, he's been very invested both physically and mentally, like wanting to learn about it with me, setting up all the equipment with me, all that kind of stuff. So I haven't done it alone. Yes, I produce my own music, but he was right next to me saying, that sounds good, or it might not. It might not sound that good. So, both my parents are very invested and interested.
Mm-hmm. And they bought you your first keyboard when you were 4, which is kind of young to be playing the keyboard. I mean, I would be banging around on it. I wouldn't know what I was doing by age 4.
Now that you say that, I'm kind of surprised I didn't do that. For some reason, no one has ever said that to me. And I'm like, you know what? A 4-year-old probably would do that. But I found it interesting. I didn't enjoy it that much when I was young, because it was, you have teachers, and when they're assigning you something, it's not as fun. Where now what I'm doing is it's on my own terms. If I want to do it, I can. If I don't want to, I don't have to. Mm-hmm. So it really became pretty enjoyable for me when I was 13 or 14, started writing my own stuff. And it was, for me, really the transition between sheet music to just playing chords. And then that got me to pick up guitar. But I would say, you can't really write a country song from sheet music. And so, I would learn the chords and just, play a Gabby Barrett song or a Carrie Underwood, whatever. And then I could learn it fast, learn it in a day or two, and I could sing along. So, and that kind of got me out of my shyness.
And you transitioned from classical music to country music. You were studying classical music.
Yes and no. It wasn't, when you're taking piano lessons, it wasn't really like, okay, let's do this next country song. Like, you don't really learn from that. My first couple of teachers weren't really a huge supporter of nitty gritty country. So for me, it's like the more the better, but some people hate it.
Right. Now, going back to when you were 14, do you remember the first song you wrote, the first song you ever wrote?
Yes, unfortunately. No. Yeah, like barely. I think I could find it in like a Google Docs. That's the fun thing with Google Docs. I write all my stuff on there, and then you can just go back and see when I added this and all that kind of stuff. But I think it was, I don't know if you're a Kelsey Ballerini fan.
Sure.
She has that new album, Subject to Change, and on the album, there's a song called What I Have. It's kind of similar to that. It was like, I've got Singing with My Dad, I've got a mom that loves, like, kind of something like that. Just really like thankful and innocent song kind of thing. So, yeah.
What do you think has changed in your songwriting from the first song you wrote to the songs you're writing now?
Oh my God, so much. I would say I've learned what I like to write about, what sounds professional on me. I would love to write about every single topic I can think of, but I can't. Some of those things, like the lake is a huge part of my life, and hanging out with friends and stuff. And for some reason, every time I try to write a song about that kind of stuff, it sucks. It's horrible.
Really?
So I would say just learning that, you know what, that's not my best skill. I don't have to force it. And I'm a lot happier with my products, I guess, of the finished songs when they're about, you know, breakup or having a crush, whatever, because that's what's relatable to people. I mean, not everyone can relate to, I don't know, you know, being on the lake or just any single hobby, but everyone has a crush. So I've just found out that, you know, it's more common to relate to that kind of stuff. And that's what gives me more success.
You might be able to write, because I know you like to waterboard and things like that, water sports, you know, on the lake. And I think, you know, you'd probably use a metaphor for what you're doing without making it about waterboarding. But it could be, you know, called waterboarding, and it could be about gliding through life or something, you know, but you never know. I mean, you're an athlete. So do you have a fallback plan? If you weren't doing music, what would you be doing? What would be the other thing? What would be next?
I would definitely like be slowing down with school, be in college, that kind of thing. I really, you know, I've gone throughout the years thinking, you know, I'd be in like health and medical stuff. The more I think about that, the less I want to do it. But I don't know. I would definitely go to college. I would say move to Nashville, but I don't know. I don't know if I would want to move to Nashville if I wasn't doing music, but.
Right. That's Music City. So that's a good place to be if you're doing music, but.
Yeah.
But so we're talking with Madelyn Rose, and she's got a new album coming out this coming up summer. It'll be her actual debut album. She's got some new songs to play for us here on the program. So I'd like to ask if you do another song. Yes,
my next song is called Won't Be Me, and this came out at the end of March. This is my favorite song. It was my idea. I thought of this while I was washing dishes. And it kind of just popped into my head. I came in my room. I remember I was sitting on the floor. I was scrolling through Instagram, and I came across some picture, and I was like, well, that won't be me. And I was like, wait a second. And then I wrote that down, went back to doing dishes, and looked outside. It was raining on the dock. And I was like, kind of thought about that, like slow dancing on the dock in the rain. I just see that in like a lot of people's, I don't know, like you see couples goals or that kind of stuff. That's a lot of people's goals. And I was like, oh, hey, that's a good idea. So then I wrote those 2 lines down, and then the rest we came up with at a later time. I don't know if it was a month or 2 later, but I love this one. It's gotten so much love, and I'm so happy that it's sad that people relate to it, but it's just like, you know, it won't be me. And that's probably a good thing, you know, They're not there for a reason, he or she or whatever. But yeah, it's just kind of accepting that. It's okay.
And what's it called?
It's called Won't Be Me.
Won't Be Me. And here she is, Madelyn Rose on Border Crossings.
Told me this would last, looking at the stars in the back of your dad's old Chevy truck. That was always us. You said you never made me cry, but then you said goodbye, and it's still messing me up, thinking that I'm not enough. Now you got somebody new. Be found someone. Need a way to want him to say what you did, and he always listens. Sometimes I still fake a smile on my face when I see your arms around her waist. 'Cause I know that it won't be me. So dancing on the dock in the rain, to a text, are you okay? For yeah, it's true that she might get the best of you. Won't be me, even though you told me that it would. Got the bad baby sugar, get the good. And when you figure out what loving someone means, it won't be me. No, it won't be me. The sheep breaks your heart. It won't be me. Picking up the phone in the car, I won't even care at all. Well, you better believe that it won't be me. So dancing on the dock in the rain, to you text, are you okay? But yeah, it's true that she might get the best of you. Won't be me, even though you told me that it would. Got the bad baby sugar, get the good. And when you figure out what loving someone means, it won't be me. Ooh, no, it won't be me.
Border Crossings, that's Madelyn Rose. It won't be me. She said it's a song that's very personal, a little bit painful, could be about the realization that maybe it's not going to be me. So it's got to be difficult that you'd be writing songs about relationships. You're so young, you're just getting started, but that's okay. I'm sure you're probably tired of hearing you're so young. But, you know, guys who date you have to realize that maybe one day they're going to become a song.
It's kind of funny. That's never been brought up. I know, like, one guy in the past, he was watching a music video, and I was kind of wondering, okay, is he going to ask me who this is about or where this came from? And he never did. I was like, whoa. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised that hasn't been brought up. But, you know, look at Taylor Swift. Hey, I wouldn't want to date her.
No, exactly. You know,
Yeah.
that's a number one song written about how many guys? John Mayer, and the
Yeah.
list goes on, Harry Styles, you go on
Yeah.
and on and on. So, you know, the prom, that's a big event in a senior in high school's life.
Mhm.
Are you getting a prom?
No.
No?
I,
You can't get asked to somebody else's school?
I can.
Okay.
I'm good. You know,
You're good. You're
I'm
okay.
good.
Are you
good.
are you planning a tour?
A little one. Yeah, I've put together 13, 14 shows this summer,
Great.
just around New York, and yeah, nowhere pretty much out like an hour or two of my hometown, but that's, you know,
Mhm.
that's how I like it. So
That's how you like it. That's how she rolls. Madelyn Rose. Now, it's only been about 2-3 years since you've gotten to this on a professional level. What's been the highlight for you so far?
oh, I would say probably signing with Veer and ADA. That was a dream come true. So I kind of found out that it was a possibility in August of 2022. And then went to Nashville to record some music videos in September, and then I guess, I don't know, officially signed in October-ish.
Mhm.
But, you know, just seeing the contract in my email was just crazy. So signing with them was a very big deal for me.
Wow. This has not been an easy time to be a teen in high school with all of the different things that our country's had to endure and that the world has had to endure, the COVID, you know, problem, that the pandemic, you know, you were writing a lot of songs during that time.
Mm-hmm.
But social media, I mean, that's something that's influencing your songwriting as well. So, I mean, social media, how does it play a role in what you do? What's your, young person who are so into social media these days?
I would say, I do a lot of my advertising per se on social media, promoting all that kind of stuff. Social media is very good and very bad. I could see how it's not healthy in a lot of ways. And I'm not sure if I would have all of it if I didn't have music. I'm not gonna lie. But TikTok, I wasn't on until I started promoting my music, all that kind of stuff. And so I think it depends on your situation. I mean, it's not really healthy when you're young, but if you can take the, comparing everyone and all that kind of stuff, then it is what it is, I guess.
It has been, social media has been criticized, obviously, for cyberbullying, which has been something that affects young people. And so, I mean, I'm glad that you are above that. And I'm glad that it's, that you're able to use it in a positive way and also to influence your fans who look at you as a role model. Did you think at 16 you'd be a role model?
No. No, I mean, I try really hard on my social media. I see a lot of people, I mean, both genders, but I see a lot of girls especially just showing everything off, and it's the filters and the makeup and everything like that. And I really try not to fake it and just show myself off, because I know how that does affect young girls. It really stinks. So I do try to not overanalyze myself, but you know what I mean?
Yes.
Just trying to be realistic and showing what's fake and what isn't. And I'm so glad that a lot of women on TikTok are showing that it's okay to look like this and that kind of thing. This is a filter. This isn't. So, yeah, I think we're getting better on that.
Wow. You are so articulate and so mature. For 16, I coach a 16 and under softball team. I've got girls your age, and they can't put 3 sentences together, but you're very articulate.
I was there.
And I appreciate, you opening up and being so honest with us about your music and everything. And so if you were given a choice, this is a tough question I like to ask my guests. You were given a choice because you like to do it all. You're like a one-woman business there. But if somebody said to you, Madelyn, you can only pick songwriting or singing or producing, what would you pick? What's going to be the one thing, the favorite part of the business for you?
Singing.
Okay. All right. Well, you didn't even pause. There was no hesitation.
That's what I started with. That's the only reason why I started everything else, is just so I could sing. So.
Why didn't you go to American Idol or one of those shows?
It was my plan. Because, Carrie Underwood, it was even my plan before I knew Carrie Underwood was on there. I was -3 when Carrie Underwood was on there. So that was my plan. And then the year that I got old enough to go on, I signed with my manager, I signed with the label, and then there was kind of no need to go get my feelings hurt. So I just kind of decided to do it on my own. But especially now where you don't get a record deal or any of that kind of stuff when you win, it's not like it was when Kelly Clarkson and Carrie Underwood were in the business. So
yeah. They give you one song, and if that song doesn't make a big impact, that's the end of it.
Right.
But I mean, it still is an option because, there's a lot of contestants on the show who do have what you have. They professional careers, they release songs, and they come on the show. But no, it's working well for you. Whatever it is that you are doing, the way you're doing it is working very, very well. And you're attracting a large following. And we're going to ask for one more song. And I guess this is the brand new single that just came out.
Yeah, this is called Heart Space. It just came out a couple days ago. And this was actually the first song that I co-wrote with anyone. So I co-wrote this with 2 people, Justin Klump and then Lauren Tabor, and it was over Zoom in Nashville. I was in New York, they were in Nashville, and we were kind of trying to figure out like what the heck to write about and just listing off ideas. And I was kind of going through a time where I wanted to move and get out of New York. And so we kind of turned that into something relatable, and we threw in heartbreak with the point of like moving and wanting space from it all. And so I wanted to move out of New York to do stuff with music, go to Nashville, all that kind of stuff. And my co-writers thought it was a good idea to have that choice be from heartbreak so that it's relatable, so that you need heart space. I want to move away to get away from all this and get some heart space from it all. So I think it's an interesting song of, it's definitely a audience. It's a smaller audience because not everyone wants to move away from their hometown to get from an ex. You know, some people would want to just get closer because they miss them or whatever. But yeah, so it's definitely a certain crowd. It's made for a certain crowd to be relatable for.
All right. Well, this is probably the very first live performance around the world for Madelyn Rose to be doing this. This is the debut for our international audience, and it's called Heart Space. Mm-hmm. And here is Madelyn Rose on Border Crossings. Border Crossings, Madelyn Rose, and that is a brand new song, Heart Space. And I thank you for sharing your space with us today on the show and giving us a chance to meet you and to know you. And you mentioned earlier that you were in social media. Where can people go if they want to connect with you, if they want to find more about you, if they want to know where you're performing? Where do they go?
Everywhere on social media, I am under Madelyn Rose Music.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
Madelyn Rose Music, and gets it all done. Thank you so much for being on the show, Madelyn Rose. It's a pleasure to meet you and have you on. It's refreshing and so exciting. This is a great time because the future's yours. You know, you got the world at your footsteps. So
thank you for having me.
No, it's been a pleasure. Madelyn Rose is our guest. Look for the new album to come out this summer. My name is Larry London. You are watching Border Crossings on VOA TV.